Welcome to the debut of If You Eat, It's Time to Speak, a dairy food revolution with Food Democracy Now! I'm Tammy Graves, your moderator. We will be discussing farmer and consumer concerns about the future safety and origin of our milk and dairy products. My name is Tammy Graves, and I live in Richfield Springs, New York. I'm proud to be the daughter of a retired dairy farmer, a concerned consumer about the future origin of our milk and dairy products, and a sister to two dairy farmers in Herkimer County. Brian Gotham is also on our panel today. He is a dairy farmer from Edwards, New York. Debbie Windecker is a dairy farmer from Frankfort, New York in Herkimer County. And Ann Rogan is a registered dietitian and nutrition professor here at SUNY Cobleskill. Thank you for joining us. Now I'd like to have each of the panel members introduce themselves. Brian, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Brian Gotham. I have a dairy farm up in St. Lawrence County, and I milk 700 cows along with my family. I have two brothers and my parents involved. Excuse me. I've been quite involved or active in trying to come up with solutions to the crisis that dairy farmers are experiencing today. And I have a unique perspective on this due to the challenges I've experienced in life. I was involved in a farm accident that resulted in the amputations of my left arm and leg. And it's turned me into an aggressive problem solver and what I kind of call a professional survivor mentality. And that's what brings me here today, to talk face to face with the consumers out there that don't hear through the standard media on what's going on day to day on the dairy farm and what they could be purchasing in the stores that's affecting our milk price. Thank you.
Debbie?
My name is Debbie Windecker, and I'm a dairy farmer with my husband and children in Herkimer County in the town of Frankfort. We live on a fourth-generation farm, and we milk 100 cows. I'm here today because I'm very concerned about the global dairy food supply that has occurred over the last 10 to 15 years with our trade deals that have occurred in this country. I think that consumers and farmers have become distanced, and it's time we come back together and realize where our food is coming from. And our rural America is dying out here, and we need to bring back the wealth from Wall Street and bring it back to rural America.
Hi, my name is Ann Rogan, and I have studied food science and nutrition at Cornell University, and I also had an opportunity to practice dietetics at the Mayo Clinic. And over the past 30 years, I've been involved in consulting as a nutritionist and teaching students. What I see is a giant change in the food choices that Americans have since I started practicing dietetics in the 70s. And what I've really seen very specifically is an increase in choice. But the choice hasn't really helped make our people healthier. I think if you do a plot of the obesity in the United States against all the new products, and especially the advertising of some of these less nutritious, sort of fabricated products against whole foods and fresh dairy, you'll see the obesity rate follows the new products. So it is a concern, it's a health concern for consumers, and the economic part of our neighbors is also important. I just wanted to say at the beginning of the show, I've never been a farmer, but I have watched, since I work in Schoharie County, what happens on a farm, and I think consumers ought to know that if these farmers and their children leave the industry, you're losing decades of information that's not in any textbook about how to grow food, how to nourish animals, and how to make food for our country, and we don't want to lose them.
Thank you, Ann, and everyone. We'll start out our discussion on the problems with a small picture of Brian and Debbie talking about what's going on their individual dairy farms.
Well, on my dairy, we're experiencing about an $80 a cow a month loss. And that translates into, across the country, about $1 billion a month. And what angers me the most and why I'm here today is I've studied a lot of graphs, a lot of information over the last few months, and I've come to the conclusion that we're being sold a lie, I guess you could say, that our market functions on supply and demand. And what I'm seeing today, this $1 billion is being transferred, the wealth is being transferred out of rural America into corporate America or big milk. And eventually, you know, I've always had the mentality, I believe we had a free market, but it's not a fair market if that's going on. And I feel the consumer needs to be aware of some of these financial aspects that are affecting us because they are not getting a deal in the store today on their cheese and butter and ice cream. We see the package sizes go down, they charge the same price, and the consumer should be aware of these details.
And what is Big Milk?
Big Milk is there's been a consolidation in the industry over time, and we used to have a lot of processing throughout the country. The processing was well distributed, and food was produced local. Now milk is being moved longer and longer distances away from the farm, and we're ending up with the industry being consolidated, and the way our milk is priced, based on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange where they trade block cheese, there's very few players involved in this trading. There's only on average 4 to 5 trades a day, and that price that's determined every day determines about 80%, 70-80% of our milk price. And most people aren't aware of this either, that it's a formula type system that's kind of based off these prices that are determined by 1 to 2% of the cheese that's traded in this country.
So you produce on your farm, obviously, raw fluid milk, but your raw fluid milk price is based on cheese trades.
That, for the most part, that's correct. Fluid milk that you buy in the store is based directly off from that cheese price on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, with a formula, with some other added things in the formula. Like I said, it's complicated and it's tough to explain it all in one TV show, but that's about all I have to say on that.
Can you frame, or anybody else, the $1 billion per month loss to the dairy industry compared to the auto industry or other industries that have received the large federal bailouts in recent months?
Would you like to take that one?
All I can say about the amount of money that the dairy industry producers are losing is we're in a recession, and the auto industry crisis occurred because people stopped buying cars. People are still buying dairy products, but in our industry, the processors, the milk processors, are making record profits. Dean Foods, beginning of 2009, announced record profits of 150% increase. This quarter, their profits were up 44%. And that's when I realized I couldn't stay at home and look at my farm and solve the problem, because I realized it's a macro problem. The pricing system is not operating correctly. Like Brian said, I don't think right now we're operating in a free market. In a free market, everyone shares in the profits. And right now, you can see that the processors are reaping all the profits. The farmer's price is down 50%, and the consumer price at the store, fluid milk, is only down about 18% in the stores, and the price of cheese is up 4%. Now, I don't call that a free market system.